So welcome back to PFAFL episode 2. Thank you very much for joining me. As always, hello to you if you are returning. If you are new though, just please drop a like, please drop a subscribe. It means the world. And let's kick off the show by saying hello to our illustrious leader, Gillen McLaughlin.
Hi Jared, Robert.
Oi, Cocker. How thou doing? An exciting week in the AFL, hasn't it? Obviously, the big news coming out of Hawthorn at the moment is that they've decided to do a succession plan, replacing legendary coach Alistair Clarkson with protege Sam Mitchell. And we took a sneak peek into how that meeting came about.
He is exactly like you in every way. Except 1/8 your size.
Breathtaking. I shall call him Mini-Me.
Melbourne were top of the ladder. Many people were flying. We hear Buller was worried about a recession with their ploughing into the September final series. But we take a little look at how their season's going after their defeat to GWS. Razor Ray Chamberlain. Quite often he irks the fans, doesn't he? Because he says people think he thinks it's about him. He tried to dispel that myth by going on the slide a couple of weeks ago, dressed as probably as a guy who is no stranger to being a bit of a showman.
Once you get dressed up, just duck past Coles to get a beanie for you, Tim, and then I've arrived in this, so we'll have to make do.
Why Elton John?
Why Elton John? Why not Elton John, mate? The Rocket Man.
Carlton recorded their second win in a row. We the boys! But we find out what the rest of the AFL think. Now Carlton fans think that they're a chance of the 8.
Don't care. Just don't care anymore. Don't care.
Caroline Wilson, as usual, tried to draw the and frustrate players and AFL clubs alike. She had a disastrous interview with Jack Rewalt, but we take a little behind-the-scenes footage in how she comes up with some of her theories.
Ho, ho! Fiction can be fun.
A weird week in the old AFL world, hasn't it? Few shocks, a few slides there, and the season's just pure excitement. There's something always going on in the wonderful world of AFL, whether it's on the field or whether it is in the media. But it is quite a murky world, isn't it? We never know what's going on. But this week, we've got AFL School who are going to take us through just how rumours come about. There's a 50 there, he threw it as well. There's people at games, they're starting to yell. He's kicked it wide, come inside, it's AFL School. Hi there children, and welcome to AFL School. The media, or the TV, or the news, you know, that box that has a painting, that moves, the television we call that. It has a lot of weird things that come out, doesn't it, about our football teams? Let's get Calamity Monkey in, see if he understands. Say hello. Hello. So Calamity Monkey, do you ever get confused with TV and the news about football teams? What do you want to know? You want to know how the stories come about? It's a very good question. Do you know, children? You don't. Neither do you. I've got just the thing. It starts with a sauce, you see, Calamity Monkey and children. You need a sauce. Now, obviously, it's not tomato sauce. That would be silly, wouldn't it? But it's a bit like this, because a sauce couldn't give us information about AFL clubs, could it? That just goes on chips, doesn't it, Calamity Monkey? Oh, we like chips. So I'm going to show you how it's done. Do you want to see? The sauce is really a distraction. So when you have the distraction and you say you have a sauce, it means you don't have to be responsible. You know, like sometimes when you steal Mrs. Calamity's nuts. Yeah, we blame someone else, don't we, Calamity Monkey? So I'll show you how it really works. Come along, children. This is what they mean by a sauce. Really the art of making an AFL trade rumour up, or any form of news with a sauce. If you remember, the sauce bottle is code for totally making it up. I know, it's a great deception, but it's just a game. Remember, kids, lying is bad. Unless you're making money from it, then it's totally fine. So what we do is, you click here, look, and what this is going to tell us is who we're going to make the news about. Well done, Calamity Monkey. We've got Adelaide Crows. But then we need something that rumour's about. We've got the club, but we don't know what the rumour is. So then we click this one. And what this does is it tells us what it's about. So, this means that we start our rumour that Adelaide are going to delist someone who is out of contract. And now, this is the most important one. A safe one, a controversial one, or a mental one. We've got mental. So now what we do is we just make the most outlandish lie you can think of. You're doing that, you look at the Adelaide players. Now, do you know who is out of contract, who's worth a lot at Adelaide? Do you, children? Matt Crouch. So, we say Matt Crouch is going to be delisted from the Crows because our source told us. And it doesn't really matter if it's true or not, because as long as you use the source, you're fine. And then we could go even more mental, and we click the spinning wheel again, and we'll find out who's going to pick him up on a mysterious 3. North Melbourne Kangaroos. It makes more sense. Do you understand now how trade rumours and stories come about? I hope that helped. Me and Calamity Monkey really learnt a lot today. We'll see you next time. Bye. Bye. Easily my favourite segment. Thank you very much for explaining to us all what the hell AFL News is about. It doesn't stop there. Obviously, we've learnt about AFL trade rumours and AFL news in general, but what goes on in the realms of the future? No one quite knows. So we've caught up with Mystic Pom, and he's going to take us through our Carlton back. Hello, welcome to Mystic Pom. The world sometimes is a weird place. There's no order, just disorder. I have spoken to the divine football powers to try and find a medium for us to understand. Carlton Football Club have been barren since 1995. There's hope. Spring's eternal. It confuses, it distracts. But will it end? Everything has an end, as it does have a start. And I've been asked by some viewers, are Carlton really back? I'm going to attempt to answer that question through the AFL gods. So breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. I want you to clear your thoughts. Carlton play Adelaide last year's wooden spooners. They have a tremendous second quarter, but their transition defence goes. The T train, choo choo choo. Carlton hold on. Fremantle, much fancied by some, disdained by others. Centre clearance domination, a first quarter from the gods, and a fourth quarter that made the 300 look meek. A backs to the wall job. They beat Fremantle. They now face Geelong. The T train is gaining traction. I can feel it, followers. I can feel it. But wait. I see realism. I see teams dissecting the tactics. I see Dangerfield breaking through the corridor. I see Weitering trying to reach but can't hit it. And then I see someone evil, truly evil lurking, ruining the Teague train. The Clarkson monster at Hawthorn, he's angry. He's been betrayed by Kennett. A protege goes Julius Caesar on him. I see a punch in the 80s. This is not what Carlton want. Carlton can't find a sniper. But I can see glory and fields of gold. Icon Park with gold filigree coffee. I am hearing the word Clarkson. 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 That was some deep shit, wasn't it? Let's be honest. The guy's mental, isn't he? This guy's mental. Well, now we've got one of my favourite segments. We've got Little and Large. They are in battle, one-on-one with each other. Let's see how they got on last week, and more importantly, their predictions this week. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Little and Large. How are you doing?
I'm 6 years old, and I've lost 2.
You lost your first tooth, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
So last week you got 7 out of 9, and I got 7 out of 9. So well done, good job.
Yeah, I did really well, didn't I?
Safe. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're tied, so we've got to do it again. Good face. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so Port Adelaide versus Melbourne. Who do you think are going to win that one tonight?
What, the red one?
Red one.
Yeah.
Say Melbourne.
Melbourne.
Melbourne. I'm going to go Port Adelaide on that one. Okay, so Essendon versus Adelaide.
Oh, I have to answer.
Who do you think?
I'm going for this one.
Adelaide?
Yeah.
Oh, shock. I'm going to go Essendon in that one.
Why?
Just try and make it exciting. Hawthorn versus Fremantle.
Hawthorn.
Hawthorn?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I'm going to go Hawthorn there as well. Carlton versus Geelong.
Oh, I go for Carlton.
Carlton?
Yeah.
I'm going to tip against us. I'm going to tip Geelong, but I like your theory. Well done, dude.
I go for Carlton.
Brisbane versus St Kilda.
Ooh, going for Brisbane because he has a shoe on. It's got to be good.
Brisbane. I like that. I'm going to go with you, Brisbane. GWS or Gold Coast Suns?
Ooh, GWS.
GWS, I agree with you on that. Doggies versus Sydney Swans.
Sydney Swans.
You're going Sydney Swans. I'm going to go the Doggies on that one. I like it there. Richmond Tigers or Collingwood Magpies?
Ooh, the Tiger.
You're going with Richmond. You're going the Tigers.
Yeah.
And to end, we've got West Coast Eagles versus North Melbourne.
Is there Happy Meal down there?
It is, yeah. West Coast or North Melbourne? Who are you going with there?
This one.
You got North?
Yeah.
I'm going to go the Eagles, but you've gone North. Well, that's really good. Cheers for that, Dave. Give us a fist bump. Double shackers.
Double shackers.
Tell everyone to like and subscribe.
And make sure to like and subscribe or your heads will fall off.
I love it. Oh, your heads will fall off. Have you got a like? Have you got a like target this week? How many likes do you want?
1,000.
1,000 likes, you've heard him. Smash that like button. We'll be back next week. It's going to be tight, isn't it? You don't want to lose to a 6-year-old boy. But, tell you what, he's great, isn't he? He's great. He's definitely good fun. Now, let's have a look at a PFAFL update. So, as you know, my team, Whitby Settlers, they did battle last week to Tunscullers. And I can tell you, if you look at the score, we got up 2,547 to 2,478, and that was pretty much due to a Sunday furore by some real good players. There was some last minute changes with Mumford coming in, and also Mitch Wallace. I was lucky enough to hear he got injured, but Ed Richards got injured, but it was a really good solid performance, and we keep top 3 on the ladder, and we really progress. Sam Walsh again did the business for me. We've got a really tough fixture though this, as I actually face my wife, the San Marrero Knights. It's going to be a real key battle. It's going to be exciting. I'm not quite sure. That's the team I'm going to go in with. I'm going to go in with Ryan, Smith, Kelly, Tui, Johannesson, Williams, Wilkie, Dacos, Sharp, Walsh, Guthrie, Mumford in the ruck, Wallace, Sexton, Ham, Himmelberg, Zerha and Kelly. We're going to have Richards, Dowhouse, Martin and Bewley on the pine. We'll check to see if there's anyone who comes in. There's not much really in my outside roster. We take a quick look at the ladder, and really a win this week could pretty much guarantee a final spot for me. So Zoe though, she is coming quite hard in the last couple of weeks, so it's going to be a really intriguing battle. So I'm looking forward to that one. We'll tune in next week, see how that got on. And today we're going to go into this week's Getting to Know You, and it's none other than me. We've streamlined it so it's not so long, so stick around, it should be good.
Getting to know you, getting to know all about you.
I was born in Whitby in the UK, and an interesting fact about me is I am the biggest Star Wars geek in the world. So much so that I actually have it tattooed on my back. Another interesting fact is that Rage Against the Machine tattoo, I was expelled from school at 15, so I actually got that tattoo the day I got expelled. 2010, I've been a fan of Carlton Football Club, love the club, great club, father-in-law to thank for that. What other sports teams do I go for? The other sports teams that I go for are Rangers, like a bit of United, Hull KR. Yeah, there's a load, but they're the ones you probably know me for, Rangers and Carlton Football Club. Favourite food, without a shadow of a doubt, is Yorkshire puddings. They are bob on. Favourite current player, Charlie Kerner. If I could sign any player for Carlton Football Club, without a doubt, it would be Harris Andrews. The thought of Harris Andrews, a young player with Jacob Wheatering, is too good. Hidden talent. Hidden talent. I can actually put my feet behind my head. I'm very flexible. Actually got a very mild form of hypermobility syndrome, so it did help me obviously throughout my career, and yeah, it makes me a little bit flexible. Fifth TV show, probably Goodnight Sweetheart of all time. I am currently binge watching Ghost Adventures. Could go anywhere in the world, it would be back to Glasgow. A lot of happy times there growing up with my olds. Favourite musical artist ever? Morrissey, without a doubt. Favourite player ever? I've frothed Chris Yarron. Probably Chris Yarron or Chris Judd. Favourite cartoon, without a doubt, is South Park. Best ground I've ever visited, Ibrox. If it's an AFL ground, can't beat G. Can't beat the G. Worst AFL player ever? Tough one. I'm going to have to say, just because he annoyed me, and it's not because he probably is, Nick Graham. Because he used to dominate in VFL, but then would play AFL and was absolutely poo bucket. If I was an AFL footballer, I'd like to think I would probably play forward pocket. I think I've got a little bit of a intensity about me. Yeah, I'd play that. If I could play in any side, I would probably say the 95 Carlton Blues. Pretty much because I wouldn't have to do much. There's some pretty good players there. Favourite player of another sport, without a doubt, is James Tavernier, captain of Rangers. Gun. Jet. Best radio show, Jason PJ. I listen to that a lot in the morning. Best game ever. I'd say FIFA 95, controversial. I used to smash that as a kid. Fave comedian, without a doubt, is Frankie Boyle. Absolutely hilarious. Very controversial, but very, very funny. Best game witnessed live, without a doubt, the prelim final, Carlton versus Richmond. Can't go past that. Judd, this would be fitting. This would be fitting. If I could remove anything from the world, and what is it? Pain to children. It would be pain to children without a doubt. Like, when you're old you can cope with it, but when you're young, nah, I can't be dealing with that. Favourite colour, incidentally, is actually purple. Purple is my favourite colour. Favourite song of all time, There Is a Light That Never Goes Out by the Smiths. Worst TV show of all the time. This is really controversial, but I thought Lost was shit. I never liked it. Worst movie of all time, again, this is probably controversial because people liked it, but I actually thought that Lord of the Rings, the second one, was the worst movie I've ever seen. Worst movie because it was hyped. What do I collect? Aside from shit tattoos and kids, I collect, and I really do have a passion, is football, is sports Guernseys. So I've got Gary Ablett's signed match one. I've got a few just lotted around, some NBA ones. Yeah, I like jerseys. Just anything from any sport. Got like loads. Some match one, some just literally shop purchased. I froth it. Worst AFL memory without a doubt was when we lost to 16 players against GWS. Absolutely broke me. Dream for my club is to win a 4P. I'd love to have a dynasty and, you know, make up for some of these years of hurt. If you could go for a meal with anyone, if I could go for a meal with anyone, living or dead, either Taylor Swift, for obvious reasons, or Morrissey, definitely. Best individual performance ever, I would say that I've seen, would be Patrick Cripps against Brisbane. That was just phenomenal. Fave YouTuber, I've got a few. Blue Abroad, Caden McDonald, I smash. Swoop Luke, I smash a lot of that as well. Too many to mention, but them three are probably my go-tos. Fave karaoke song, Please Let Me Get What I Want by the Smiths. My favourite drink is Black Sheep IPA, which is a Whitney brew, or a Yorkshire pudding beer. Tetley's though, if I'm over here. Personal motto, it's a weird one. My pop used to tell me this. There's no such thing as a mistake unless you repeat it. It's a lesson. So that's something that I always pass on to the kids. If I weren't a Carlton fan, who would I follow? It would actually be Geelong. I was pretty much nearly a Geelong fan before my father-in-law got in the way. So yeah, it would have been Geelong. Fave AFL strip. I love the light blue Mars one from Carlton. I loved that one back in the day. The worst AFL strip, probably Essendon. It just makes me feel sick. Best AFL granny that I've seen. I really enjoyed the 2017 AFL granny. Dustin Martin just went crazy. I enjoyed that. Who wins the AFL this year? I think the Doggies will win it. Who wins the wooden spoon? I think North will grab the spoon. My Brownlow pick this year is controversial, I might add. I think Sam Walsh might sneak it. Don't know why. I just think there's not many people to take it off him. Yeah, so come at me. Rising star, I think, will be Tom Green from GWS this year. Most overrated footballer in the comp. This is probably controversial. I'll probably get hate for this, but I actually think the most overrated footballer in the comp, I think, is Dangerfield. I still think he gets a lot of kudos. Most underrated footballer in the AFL, in my belief, is... So for me, I think he's Ed Kerno. Doesn't get enough credit for what he does. Probably not there anymore, but I think for his body of work, it's been phenomenal. Best AFL song, well, it's Carlton, isn't it? Worst AFL song, controversial again. I think the GWS Giants is just it's overrated. It's overrated. Best fans in the AFL, probably the Blue Baggers. I love them. Worst fans, Richmond. I just find them worse because they don't win properly, in my opinion. They're not arrogant enough for me. So, Yeah, they're the worst. And now we go over to my pommy cousin who's going to give us our weekly chant for us to use. Carlton boys, lace the boots and corduroy. Oi, oi, it's fucking coming home, and make no mistake, it's coming home, it's coming home. So, freaking Uncle Pommy over there, he wants me to fucking think of a chant. Now, he's told me a lot about this Alistair Clarkson fucking melt. Who knows who he is? I never heard of him. I ain't got a Scooby. However, what I do know is he told me it's Pep Guardiola. And you've got, evidently, Sam Allardyce. What a complete nuffty you guys are. So what I did is I thought the best way to attract someone, and make no mistake about this, is write him a song. Write him a song. Give him a little fucking carol. It's great. So this is what we've got. Say that you love me, say that you love me, all of the time, all of the time. 'Cause we've got Ali Clarkson, we've got Ali Clarkson, we've got Ali Clarkson. Get that down, yeah. Let him know that you want him. Flags. Clarkson equals flags. Hashtag Clarkson. I love that segment. You have no idea how long it takes to come up with some of them. And we finish with the ball bag of the week. And this week, it's these guys.
Oh, have a look at this, Gadji. What a complete ball bag.
Super Gretsch is an internet sensation, a Facebook icon. If you're watching this, it means you're one of his 39,000 followers. The most famous football Facebook page there is owned by this man. He lives in Geelong. He goes for St Kilda. And until now, he's been anonymous. He's been behind the keyboard. So I thought today, let's have a catch up. He actually suggested to me, why don't you interview me? I said, absolutely, Cooper. There's so many good things about you. You post news, you post opinion.
You see, I just don't get it. Like, you've got a lot of journalists, haven't we, in the AFL? We've got a few of them. I mean, you've got Tom Morris there going on that show. I mean, what is that going on about? You've got Tom Brown who just throws darts. You've got Caroline. You've got so many melts, haven't you? You've got the Damien Barrett who looks like a hamster from Wind in the Willows. And they do my nut, man. They do my nut. Proper ball bags, the lot of them, because you should report about the football, and I feel like it's always a willy waving contest with AFL journalists, particularly who breaks it first. It doesn't matter about the accuracies, and they proper wind me up. I mean, look at the state of some of them as well. Like, just let that sink in. The toughest sport on the planet, and some of the wet yogurts that are commentating on that, like, just, and it's the same people as well, and they all look the same. This is my issue with it, right? I'm not stereotyping, but every journalist that is a complete pleb, you just know they are. They're the kind of guys that when they grow up want to be traffic wardens. Do you know what I mean? And like, everyone's only a traffic warden because they weren't fit enough to be a cop. So it's like chain of command, do you know what I mean? Like, so it's like you're a gutter journalist if you haven't got the intelligence to actually research your articles. Can he stand them, man? Can he stand complete ball bags, the lot of them? And you know who I'm talking about as well. You know, the Twitter breaking, and they use them freaking horrible free asterisks. Piss off, man. So yeah. Like, I actually think fan-based journalism is a hell of a lot better. Like, so do you know what I mean? For me, I would rather read that because there's been a little bit of effort going into it. It's not just general bollocks articles. Complete ball bags. So yeah. So yeah. Well, that's the show. That's all we got time for. Thank you very much for joining me. It's been a pleasure. I'll see you soon. Pom out.